Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I had mentioned today or yesterday for today that I would be doing the video that was long requested of me to do a wedding or frugal wedding planning tips. So that's what I will be doing. And before I get started, I wanted to share a few facts that I got online, and I just thought that they would be really interesting to share with you. And the first one is that December is the most popular month that men propose to their girlfriends, and so I thought that it would make January perfect for doing this video, seeing as that is the case. Right now would be the time where most people are planning for their weddings, and from experience, most weddings that I've ever gone to have all been in the summer or early fall, so everybody's doing their planning now for that time. And on average, brides, and I got these from Canadian statistics, but I am sure that it is not far off for the US as well. But on average, a bride expects her wedding ring to be at least $5,000. I'm going to say that again. $5,000 for a ring. A ring. And the last one that I wanted to share was, according to the Golden Girl Finance, the average cost of a Canadian wedding is $31,110, and that's including the honeymoon. That's over $31,000 on one day. And the US, I did look this up, is not very, it's just a little bit more. I think it's $31,213. So they're not very far off from us Canadians, and that to me is just insane. That is like a down payment on a house, if not more, or, you know, debt payments. That's just crazy. And also, before I get into my tips, I have 8 for you. I will just let you quickly know that we never actually did have a wedding. We just were dating for over 5 years, and I lived in the city and he lived out in the country, so we barely saw each other. And after I was finished going to school, we basically just took the plunge and I moved out to the country with him, and that was it. And then we used the money that we saved to buy property, and yeah, so the rest is history. We'll be out here for 3 years now, this coming June of 2018. So I never did have a wedding, but I had been to a few weddings, and I have always planned a wedding, and I never really did want to spend a lot of money on my wedding. But I do know that if I ever have a wedding, it will not cost $31,000. And the great thing about getting married is you don't have to have a wedding to do it, and you don't have to have a wedding that day. You can have a wedding any day if you want. You can wait a couple of years to have a wedding. If you are just really wanting to be married, go ahead and get married and use that money that you're saving for a wedding when you can actually afford it. There's no shame in that. There's no rule saying that you need to have a wedding party on the day of your marriage. But anyway, that's just my thing. And here are some tips for whether you're having a wedding on the day of your marriage or after your day of your marriage. So, number 1 is use a justice of peace. Here in Manitoba, I know it only costs $50, and you can have him either come out to where you're getting married or go downtown to their Justice of Peace office and get married with a couple witnesses, and boom, you're married. It's as simple as that. Number 2, you can use a space that is free or very, very cheap. For example, there are parks here, like outdoor spaces that cost nothing to use, either for weddings or any kind of events. You just have to clean up after and all that. You can get married at a family or friend's place if they will let you, or if they have this space and you can use their outdoor area. Rec centers are often very cheap, and as well as churches. Number 3, this goes without saying, but have a small wedding if you can. The smaller the wedding, the cheaper it will be, because you are not paying for hundreds and sometimes thousands of people. Number 4, have family and friends bring food or help cook for your wedding, or do it like a potluck, which is, I guess, kind of the same as bringing food. And then you get so much of a variety of different foods, and everyone make that the wedding gift. Have people bring dishes of food and drinks instead of bringing you things that you probably don't need already. And number 5, make your own centerpieces and bouquets and party favors. Like a lot of weddings that I've gone to either get candy or something to take home with after. I guess they're called thank yous. Do all of that yourself. Get some close girlfriends, have a night in where you drink tea or wine and make all this stuff yourself. Number 6, buy a dress that is on clearance. I've seen dresses for as little as like $100 and that were originally like $800 or $300 that were like $1,000 and so on. You can get really nice dresses for cheap. Or you can buy a second-hand dress. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you can use your mother's dress if they've kept it, which I've known quite a few people to do that. And men can either rent a suit instead of buying one, or use a suit that they already have. No, there's no rule saying that you have to be in a tux for a wedding. And then for bridesmaids, what I did for one wedding, we all just wore a certain color. The color for bridesmaids was black, and we wore whatever dress that we wanted that was black, which was acceptable, I guess, which was, it had to be a certain length or whatever. And yeah, so if you want all pink, tell them they can wear whatever dress they want as long as it is pink. And well, you get the hint, or the point, I should say. Number 7, and you can have your wedding and your social. I went to a wedding where they had their social the same day of the wedding, which kind of, you can invite more people then because they're all paying tickets to go to your wedding / social, and they're paying for their own drinks and all of that. So you get your party and your wedding in one, and it doesn't cost you barely anything to do it that way either. And the last one I have is for pictures. Instead of using a professional photographer, maybe find someone who is just getting into it, like a student or something like that, who is really just trying to get their name out there, and they normally won't charge that much because they're new. And one other thing that I have seen also is just they used to have disposable cameras. I'm not sure if they still do that, but you can leave or have like a camera station where people just take their own pictures of whatever, or people that bring their cameras. You can ask your guests to take pictures and then send them to you via email, and then pick out ones you like and use those as your wedding photos. I mean, really, when you go to a wedding, so many people are taking pictures. It's not always necessary for an expensive photographer. And yeah, it depends on what's most important to you on your wedding day. You can also, like for flowers, if it's summertime, maybe there are flower gardens, not like ones that you're not supposed to pick, but you can use wild flowers, or if your parents or you yourself have flowers in your garden, you can use those for a bouquet. I mean, it's just all about using your imagination and getting a little creative and not having to spend where you don't have to. And that is all I'm going to share for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other requests for me, let me know below. And if you have any other tips on how you save money on your wedding, let me know in the comments below as well. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.